16b is a Mishnah. What do you have an F? You have there is another English somewhere.
Yeah, I just wanted to try it. Because yes, it wasn't working properly. Then I got it.
There's Rachatz Laila Rishon Shemisi Ishtay. Rabbi Gamliel took a shower or bath on the first night after his wife passed away. Now, the halacha is that an avel is not supposed to shower, or an einin, I should say. An einin is not supposed to shower, or an avel as well is not supposed to shower. What's the issue here? Is the avel or the avelis or the aninas? It sounds like the aninas because I know an avel is also not supposed to, but it seems like
But the Rashi says with mikvah Rabbi.
yeah. Okay, let's see. Maybe it will clarify. The Gemara is going to clarify it. So that's Amar Lei Talmid of the students say L'Madatanu Rabbeinu. Our teacher, you have not taught us. That a mourner is forbidden. Amar Lehem says to them, I'm not like everyone else. Istinus ani. An istinus. What's an istinus?
Delicate.
Delicate.
Very
Finicky. Now, Taisus over here says that he has pain if he doesn't shower or doesn't wash himself. That what's the reason why an avel shouldn't wash? Because of pleasure. This is not pleasure. This is removing a pain. It brings proof from that even on Tisha B'Av, a woman that gave birth, during the 7 days of mourning can wash, and she can also wash on Tisha B'Av. And also someone that has some sort of sores on his head is allowed to wash even on Yom Kippur. Even though Yom Kippur you're not allowed to wash, that's clear. But it's only washing of pleasure. Okay. Shemeis Tavi, Avdai, when his servant by the name of Tavi died, to Kibbel of Tanchumen, he received condolences, consolation for the servant. Amalei Talmidav, I guess he sat Shiva or some, waiting for people to. The student said, "The Madatanu Rabbeinu, our teacher, you have not taught us that you don't receive condolences." We're on 16b in the Mishnah for servants. It's a non-Jewish servant. My servant Tavi was not like all other servants. Kasher haya. He was a kasher. Person say he was a Talmid Chacham. Chassan, next case. Chassan if a Chassan wants to read on the first night of his wedding, he wants to recite the Shema, he can recite the Shema. No. Not everyone that wants to enter into that category of someone of like Rabbi Gamliel that can recite the Shema, he can recite the Shema. A person normally on the first night of the wedding, so he can't concentrate. And this guy is proving that he can concentrate. No, I'm better. I'm able to. You can't do that unless he reaches that status. My time with the Rabbi Gamliel, you have to skip Shimon ben Gamliel. You have to skip that. My time. What's the reason for Rabbi Gamliel? Because we're going to the first part of the Mishnah. It says Kasavar Aninas Laila Derabanan. I don't know if we're talking about Avelis or Aninas. Over there they said Avalas, or now we say Aninas. There's two different halachas. Aninas is on the first day. Avelis is after the burial. So she was buried. And it must mean Avelis.
But Aninas isn't he potter from all mitzvahs, period?
Yeah.
So why would it be a problem?
No. The Einy it's not allowed to do anything that's going to distract him from the burial. Actually, an Einin is not allowed to eat meat and drink wine. But an Aval is allowed to. Because you could get carried away and there's someone that needs to be buried. An Aval, it's already buried. And Aninas is Well, because of the involvement in the burial. So what the Gemara says over here is that there's aninus on the first day of the death, and the question is, what happens at that night after there is aninus for one day? What happens the following night after the burial? Is he still considered an einin? So we say that night is only aninus derabbanan, and therefore that her end is like a bitter day, which means that it lasts a day. And if the person is finicky or delicate, then the rabbis didn't make a decree if it's at night. Taisus over here has a question. He says, how do you know that aninus at night is derabbanan? Maybe an einin not allowed to wash is derabbanan, and aninus is deraisa. There's two halachas here. There's the time of the aninus. Aninus is based on a pasuk by Meiser. When a person takes his Meiser to Yerushalayim to eat it there, he says, "Le'achalti ba'ini mimenu." Is that by the beer Meiser, or is that by when he goes to Yerushalayim? He says that he didn't eat it in aninus. If he's an einin, he's not allowed to eat it. So we know that there are real halachas in the Torah about aninus. The question is, what day is it? So the Gemara says that it's only by day and it's not at night, and that's why, because it's not at night, that's why the decree of not taking a shower doesn't apply if he's that's why the decree of aninus doesn't apply if he's an istinus. Taisus was bothered. Maybe it's only the decree of taking a shower, not the aninus. Taisus says that if it would have been real aninus, then called the tikkun rabbanan and deraisa tikkun, they would have made the gzeira like the deraisa as well. We wouldn't have been allowed to take a shower.
So at nighttime, because it's the rabbanan, you're saying it's an ankle and I could take a shower.
Yeah, if he's an einin. Shemeis tavi avdei, when a servant tavi died, taner rabbanan avadam shvachas einayin d'malayim b'shura. Shura is a line that they stand in when they leave the burial. The aval walks between the group of people, and the people say they console the aval. You only do that if there's 10 people. So you don't do this for a slave or a maidservant. You also don't do the Brachos Daf, which was something that was done in the street. They would have the first meal, called the Suda Savra, on the street, and there would be a blessing for Avelim. You don't do that as well. And you don't do Tanchumi Avelim. You're not Menachem Aval. Rabbi Eliezer. The story that the maidservant of Rabbi Eliezer died. Rabbi Eliezer is probably Rabbi Eliezer ben Horkenes. The students came in to console him. Must be before he was put in Cherem, or else he wouldn't have had the students coming in. Even Shirayisam, when he sees them, Allah Aliyah is a student of Rabbi Yechon ben Zakkai. Rabbi Eliezer ben Horkenes. He was put in Cherem, yeah. There was a story in Bab Metzia. We had an argument and he didn't agree to the other. So the students came in to console him, and he sees them, so he goes up to the attic. So they went up to the attic. He went to the gatehouse. So they followed him there. He goes to the banquet hall. They followed him there. Amalahem, he says to them, it appears to me, and I thought that you would get burnt by lukewarm water. That means you would get the hint early on. But now I see you don't get burnt even by boiling water. In other words, I tried to give you the hint, but you didn't get it. Did I not tell you? Did I not teach you? You're not supposed to take condolences for a servant. This is a maidservant. What do you say? You say the same thing for the maidservant that you would say for an ox or a donkey that died. This is like Civil War politics. That Hashem should fill in your loss what you say if someone loses a donkey. That's what you say. That's a condolence for the maidservant. Tanya Yidach, there's another Bais of Adam Shvach Zeh Maspida Meisam. To say, there's a commentary on the Ein Yaakov. It's called Habayna. It was written by one of the most colorful characters. Yeah, close. Yehuda Arya Medina, Leon Medina. He was an Italian scholar, and he wrote a commentary. It's called Habayna. It was a very interesting. He wrote an autobiography where he describes his gambling problem, but and he wrote a book about the ills of gambling, and also he wrote many things. He was a very interesting person, but he writes over here his comment on this is that why was he running away? He keeps running away. He says there were maidservants there. He wanted to say this in front of them, so he kept going. He kept going to another place to get away from the maidservants, so that when he's going to tell them that you're not supposed to do this, they shouldn't hear the reason. That was a bit nice. Okay, so Avodah Mishvachas Maspida Ma'asim. They have another brayso. You don't give a eulogy. Rabbi Yossi Amir Mevet Kasher, who, if he is a servant that was good, probably means a Talmud Chacham. So Imr Malav, you say about him, Hoy, like whoa or alas, Ishtay V'Neman. He was a good man, trustworthy, V'Nenem Yigiyah, and he enjoyed the work of his hands. This is going according to the opinion that says that a person is not allowed to tell, that a person is allowed to tell his slave, that a person is not allowed to tell his slave that you have to work for me and I don't have to feed you. There's a machlekes if the person is allowed to say that. So because he's, according to this opinion, he's not allowed to say that, that means if he works, he gets fed. He enjoyed the work of his hands. Amrullah, they said to him, Im Cain, if that's what you say about a slave, so what eulogy do you leave to say about Jews? That's a very good eulogy. So what do you say about the regular use? That's the far too high. Right. Okay. Tana Rabbanan, starting the Bais saying, you only call our forefathers three. There's only three, Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. And the mothers, the matriarchs, you only say that there's four. I think this comes in because we're not going to include Bilhah and Zilpah, that they were maidservants. That's how this comes in. My time, what's the reason for this? Because you don't know who's your forefather. You don't know if it's Reuven or Shimon. We don't know if you come from Rachel or from Leah. You're from Yosef or from Yehuda or Binyamin or right? Maybe for everyone else, but that's the problem is that is this the whole reason? Ella adhacha chashivi tvei like chashivi. How is this explained over there in the commentary? Adhacha chashivi. Until here, it's significant. More than that, it's not significant. We don't consider it. Do you have a comment on that?
Yeah, it says that until Yaakov, they are significant enough to be referred to as others. But beyond Yaakov, they're not significant enough to be referred to as others.
I heard you don't include Moshe,
Right.
all the ones that come for their speezing, you don't say that.
Right. That's actually you said that as an answer, but it's actually a question. How are we allowed to say the Shpiz in this? Having it's Yaakov, Moshe, and David, Yosef, and David, and Karen Lavis Alashleisha? Now we're going to need to answer that. But here we're not really referring to Avis, we're referring to just Tzaddikim. We're going to have to resolve that. Could be what it's referring to is in Tefillah. Like that will answer all the questions. But I don't know if we're talking about Tefillah, because do we say Elikei, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, and Leah?
They do in the Reform City. I found it once. I went to it.
I don't know if that's it. If that's going to resolve.
I forget what the exact wording was, but I remember I read it several few times. Referring to Bilhah and Zilpah also as.
Uh-huh. Interesting.
As a kid growing up, I didn't realize they said forefather. I said, where's the
Where's the
forefather?
I have stories with more stories, so I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Tanya Idach. I thought by the Seder that everyone supposed to have 4 cups. And everyone's supposed to have 4 cups at their plate. Okay. Tanya Idach was taught in the Brisa, another Brisa. Avanu Mishvachas in Kern Oisam Abba Pliny, Bima Plynus. You don't call them Abba this and Abba that, a maidservant or a slave. Like we say today, Mr. Rashi says. Today we say Mr. Pliny, Mrs. Pliny. Over there, you don't say, in those days they would say Abba Pliny, Abba. You don't say that to a slave. And the reason is, someone might hear and think that this is your lineage. If you say mother this, father that. Shel Rabbi Gamliel hayakers and Abba Pliny, Vima Plynus. But of Rabbi Gamliel, they would say that. Rabbi Gamliel's slaves. My solicitor, what are you saying? First you tell me the halacha, then you tell me a story that contradicts the halacha. So it says no, Mishum de Chashivi, they were significant. Taisvis. Maybe it was Tava, yeah. But it says, Shal Rabban Gamliel, Hayukir Naisam, says them. Taisvis, when it came to that you don't stand in the line, you don't stand in the line to receive condolences for a slave. Taisvis says because people might think that the slave was really a full Jew, and then they would make their family into Jewish because we saw them. What do you mean at the cemetery? We saw them standing over there. So that would really only be by a shifcha, because if you did that for the mother, then that's what you did then the child must be like that. But if it would be a slave, not a maidservant, then just because they did that for the father, it doesn't mean the child is a full Jew. You still have to check out who the mother is. You'd find out the mother's a slave also. It doesn't really affect that. So it could be that there's an advantage over here for the slave over the maidservant, and then you don't have that. You don't have the same concern. Similar, the shluchim say in certain areas, if there's a non-Jewish last name, then they assume that the person is Jewish. So how to get a non-Jewish last name? How to get the name Smith? Must be that his Jones. Must be that there's always an intermarriage. So it must be that the mother's Jewish and the father isn't. He must be Jewish. Someone with the Jewish name Horowitz, or something. So then there's someone non-Jewish there. So it must be that the father was the father's Jewish. It must be the mother's not Jewish. So. Okay.
I wonder if the guys at Ellis Island haven't heard these rules.
They have these like in certain places in California or something. They assume that everything is intermarried.
With all of the problems of maidservants and slaves, etc., how did the Avos include or request that maidservants propagate the Jewish people?
Right.
They were really sisters.
I don't know.
But the letters, they were sisters.
No.
Full sisters. Half sisters.
I don't know. I'm a Rebbe Lazar. I don't know. Rebbe Lazar says we're going down a generation. Before we're dealing with Rabbi Eliezer, now we're in Rebbe Lazar. He's a student of Rabbi Eichmann. Maidiksiv. What's the meaning of the pasuk? Kein avrecha b'chayei. So I bless you with my life. B'shimcha, in your name, esakapa, I raise my hands. Kein avrecha b'chayei. So I bless you with my life. Zukri Ishma. It's referring to Shema. B'shimcha esakapa, in your name, I raise my hands. Zutfila, because a person raises his hands in prayer. You would think the opposite. You would think that he covers his eyes. He raises his hands. to recite the Shema. That's not the Pshat. He blesses God with his life. That's Shema, because Kol Ma'idcha, Kol Nafshcha, Kol Ma'idcha, that's the Shema. But he raises his hands in prayer. The Zohar discusses that a person shouldn't raise his hands above his head unless he's praying. If a person does this, he recites the Shema and he prays, the pasuk says regarding him, like fat and marrow, my soul is satisfied. He inherits both worlds. As it says, the lips with joys, my mouth praises. My lips with joys. What's the joys? The plural, because he has joy in this world and he has joy in the next world. This is someone that recites Shema and says Shema Esrei. Rabbi Lezer basim the Messiah tzlaise. We're jumping over here to the end of davening, the end of Shema Esrei. What does the person say at the end? So we say Elikai Netzer L'Sheni Meira, right? We're going to go through a whole bunch of different add-ons to the prayer that the different sages said, and finally we'll come to the one that we say, and why we chose that I'm not 100% sure. So Rabbi Lazar mentioned. Rabbi Lazar, he's right here on the chart. He's a student of Rabbi Yochanan, Rabbi Lazar ben Padas, second generation, third generation, student of Rabbi Yochanan ben Nafcha. Rabbi Yochanan Mezaki is a Tana. Rabbi Yochanan ben Nafcha is an Amayra. He's the leader of the yeshiva in Tveria in Eretz Yisrael during the Talmudic period. He's an early Amayra, possibly the editor of the Yerushalmi. His student, Rabbi Lazar ben Padas, says like this. The Messiah when he finished his prayer, Amar, he says, Amar Hachi, he says so. He says the following: it should be the will before you. Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem our God, Shetishkan b'Purenu. Purenu means our lot. It should dwell in our lot. Ava, love, Yachva, brotherhood, v'shalom, and peace, v'reyas, and friendship. V'tirba gvuleinu b'talmidim, and our boundaries should increase with students. V'titzlach, v'tatzliach sifeinu, achris v'tikva. And our end should be successful with end and hope. V'tasam chalkeinu b'Gan Eden, our portion should be placed in Gan Eden. V'sakneinu b'chaver toiv, and we should be established as a good friend, or with good friends, or as a good friend, I'm not sure. The Yetzer Tov ba'olamcha, and with a good inclination in your world. Benashkim, and we should get up. Benimtza taivas levavenu, or yachal levavenu liyiras shemecha. When we wake up in the morning, what should be the desire of our heart? Should be to fear your name. You don't know what you're going to wake up with in the morning. You could have some crazy things, One morning you woke up, and so this is the prayer. We should wake up in the morning, and we should have our desire should be the fear of Hashem, and the satisfaction of our soul should be before you for good.
Amen.
That's the prayer of Rabbi Lazar, Rabbi Lazar ben Padas. Rabbi Yochanan, we go to his teacher now. Basad the Messiah when he finishes his prayer, Amar Hachi, he says the following: it should be the will before you, Hashem, our God. You should glance at our embarrassment, the tabit barasenu, and see our plight. Tislabish, and you should be enclothed barachamecha in your compassion. Tiskasa, and you should cover yourself with your strength. Tisate, you should garb yourself b'chasidusecha, with your kindness. Tisazer b'chanisecha, and should be covered with your graciousness. The tavel midas tuvcha, and should come before you your attribute of goodness, van bunusecha, and your humility. This is sort of like saying what God's position should be when He's dealing with us.
Everybody's just throwing around their signature prayer.
Yeah.
It's a good thing we don't hold by all the opinions.
Reb Zera, busted the Messiah Tzlaisi. Now I see what's going on. Why people take so long. Reb Zera, after he finished davening, we jumped to Reb Zera. I thought we were working upwards. So Reb Zera was younger. here's a student over here of Rabbi. When he finished, Amar, he said, should be your will before you, Hashem, that we should not sin, we should not be embarrassed, not be disgraced. That's a very interesting word. Either more than our fathers were, or it means before our fathers, in front of our fathers. I don't know what the commentaries say about this.
So I guess what this means is that,
Before our fathers, okay. On the side it says, more than our.
I guess what this means is that the Anshe Knesset who wrote the Shemona Esrei didn't write the end.
Right.
So that was established.
Right.
It says here that before our forefathers, in the sense that our actions should not disgrace the actions of our forefathers.
Thank you.
What does that mean?
No, whatever we do, we shouldn't disgrace.
We shouldn't be an embarrassment to them, or we
Yeah.
shouldn't put them to shame by doing better than them.
No, the opposite. The first one.
Okay. Reb Chia, now we're going to Reb Chia. Reb Chia is even earlier. Basa de Masli, after he prayed, Amar, he says, should be your will before you, that the Torah should be our job. Our heart should not be faint, and our eyes should not be dim. Rav is the nephew of Reb Chia. I can't figure out the order here. Basit Slaise, after he prayed Amar Hachi, he says the following: this prayer you might recognize. It should be your will before you, Hashem our God. Should give us long life, Chaim Shal Shalom, a life of peace, Chaim Shal Teva, life of goodness, Chaim Shal Bracha, life of blessing, Chaim Shal Panasa, life of sustenance, Chaim Shal Chilutz Atzamis, a life of bones that move. That means we shouldn't be bound to one place, I guess. I'm not sure why that's a. Okay. Chaim Sheish Bem Yeres Chet. A life that has fear of sin. Chaim She'im Bem Busha Chlima. A life that doesn't have shame or disgrace. Chaim Shaleisha recovered. A life of wealth and honor. Chaim Sheteban Avas Terbi Shemaim. A life that has in us that we have love of Torah and fear of heaven. Chaim Shetiman Lanu Kol Mishal Sabin Al Teva. A life that you fulfill all our wishes for good. Rabbi, now we're going back to Tana. Basa Ditzlaise, after he davened, Amar Hachi, he says the following: should save us from the arrogant, and from arrogance. It's from others and from we should become. It's close to it. Yeah, very good. Right. The interesting here is this is in a plural. The Rebbe asks in the Haggadah, the Rebbe has a comment there that because all prayers are supposed to be said in a plural, this is the only prayer that we say in singular in all of davening. We say Shetatzileni, but in the Gemara it's not even in the singular. The Gemara has it in a plural, which is a real question.
Oh, is there
because
a question?
No, the Rebbe asks why we say this in the morning with it. In the Haggadah, there's no why we say it with
Singular?
in singular. When we have Gemaras that say that a person should always pray in plural, and it is in a plural. Save us doesn't say save me.
Well, the person has one part, one face.
No, shetatzilenu. The expression should save us. Oh, from the arrogant. Yeah, there's many. From all the, but not just from one arrogant person. Yeah, that granted. And from a bad miadamra, mipegara, from bad mishaps. Mietzara, from the evil inclination, michavara, from a bad friend. Mishachner, a bad neighbor. Misatna mashkas, from the destructive Satan. Midin kasha, from a harsh trial. Mibaldin kasha, from a harsh opponent. What do you say?
So we say this every morning.
We say it in the morning, but in our prayer we say it in a singular, which is a problem.
The other one about singular is we call Sarki. It's a singular.
Yeah. That's a
Before that.
also called Sarki. Interesting. Are the other blessings there in plural?
Well, or they don't indicate anything.
That's so interesting.
It's only with,
But
realize
also,
that.
when you say mechaver, you're not saying many friends. You're saying one.
No, from A. No, but I'm saying save us or save me from a bad friend. That's over here. It's a plural. It's who's requesting it. Do you include yourself in the community when you make this request, or do you just have a personal prayer?
Does it come from the daven? You're supposed to daven for other people.
Ben Shu, and from a harsh opponent, Ben Shu ben Bris, Ben Sheina ben Bris, whether he's one of the covenant or not. The Rebbe, and even though there were officers that were standing next to Rebbe protecting him the whole time, the marshals, right? But right over there is the Romans, Praetorian maybe. But nevertheless, he still prayed this, that he should be protected from people. Okay, Reb Safra, Basset Slicer, Reb Safra, after his prayer, Amar Hachi says the following: should bring peace in the angels of the heaven, because if there's conflict up there, immediately wars start down here, and in the groups of sages below, and amongst your students that study your Torah, whether they're studying for the right sake or whether for the wrong sake. Excuse me. And anyone that's studying for the wrong sake, it should be the will that you study for the right sake, for the right purpose. It's a nice prayer. Rabbi Alexandri, after he prayed, Amar Hachi says the following: it should be your will, Hashem, our God, you should put us in a light corner filled with light, which means the corner could have different connotations. Could mean a corner. It could also mean some sort of heights. Don't put us in keren, like anointed. Don't put us in a corner of darkness. Our heart should not be faint. And our eyes should not be dim. There are those that say, that was part of the prayer of Rav Hamnuna, who we didn't mention. However, Rabbi Alexandri, who we thought this was the prayer of, he says the following. He has a different prayer. Rabbeinu Lamed, Master of the world, it's revealed and known before you that our desire is to fulfill your will. And who stops us? It's the yeast that's in the dough. That's an expression for the Yetzer Hara that sours everything.
Isn't that her diver? Isn't that this is considered like the rising?
Very good. Very good. That's a good shot. Because the yeast causes it to rise. And the Yetzer Hara would be like ego. Very good, Yeshikaya. Shibud Malchus, there's one other factor. There's an outside factor. That the Shibud Malchus, the outside factor is that the government makes rules and makes it difficult for us and all of that. So, okay. Yiratzim Milfanecha should be your will. Before you should Tatzilenu Miyadim, you should protect us from their hands, inside and outside. And we should return to fulfill your statutes of your will with a pure heart, with a complete heart. Rava, after he prayed, he says the following: Elikai, my God, before I was created, any kadai, I wasn't worthwhile. In other words, I was nothing. I didn't exist. Now that I have been created, it's as if I wasn't created. In other words, I didn't get any more significant after I was created than from before. Yeah, we've placed these in different places. This one before, I was wondering if someone would say that's by Rosh Chodesh mentioning would say that, but Chabad doesn't say it. That's right. Where everyone here is excused.
I always think that was sitting.
To say that extra prayer.
Why do they skip that? That's the question. You don't know?
I don't know. From Chazal, there's no problem. The prayers from Chazal. There is prayers that were made over the ages that Chazal doesn't put in, that Chazal didn't have, but they were made later. And Chabad doesn't put it into the Machzor or other things, these later prayers, the Yitzhak and other things. But from the Gemara, this is the Talmudic prayers. I mean, so they're put in different places.
So Chazal just took whatever from all these Anoim and Amar and just put them where they had to be. That's my question. There's a lot of
We have to study the later commentaries to see why they were placed in different places. I'm sorry. And Tehillim. Rava, he says, my God, before I was created, I wasn't worthy. Now that I'm created, I'm still not worthy. I'm dirt in my life. All the more so in my death. Behold, I am before you, like a vessel that's filled with shame and disgrace. It should be your will before you, Hashem, my God. I should sin no more. And what I've sinned already, Maraik. We say Machaik, right? So Maraik, you should empty. We say erase over here. The Gemara says empty with your abundant compassion, but not through suffering and illness. And this is the vida of Rav Hamnuna Zuti. This is the vida of Rav Hamnuna, the small one, on Yom Kippur. They comment on the two Rav Hamnunas.
This one is the Hadra ones. The Chabad say just a regular Al Yisrael.
Yeah.
I just realized that Rabbi Spalk has been to two.
If you didn't say the full.
Yeah, and the first time, and then the rabbis on Moshe Shabbos, they were like, huh? Well, what are you saying? I had to say, it's Chabad. Just have to stop them. I don't know where they get that. They just have their own.
Yeah, I don't know. Different minhagim.
I'm going to look it up.
Marbrei de Ravina. Now we're at the end of the Talmudic period. This is on our chart. We don't have him that often. Here's Ravina and Ravashi. This is below. We don't even have it. We have Mar Bar Ravashi. This is Marbrei de Ravina.
How many years after?
The Talmudic period was about 300 years.
Son of Ravina.
A span of 300 years. When he finished this period, he said the following: Elikai, my God, guard my tongue from evil, and my lips, midaber mirma, from speaking deceit, and those that curse me. And from those that curse me, nafshi siddha, my soul should be silent. Benafshi kafala koltia, my soul should be dust to everyone. Sachli b'seresecha, open my heart in your terror of mitzvah and your commandments. B'siddif nafshi, b'satz, mitzvah siddif nafshi. I'm sorry, and in your commandments, my soul should run. B'satz leini mi pegara, save me from mishaps, mi yitzhara, from evil inclination. Look at the next one. Mi ishara, from a bad woman.
That one.
Yeah, that got edited.
Yeah, I was going to say, we don't have that.
The women printers of the font.
It's not in time.
And from all the evil that suddenly comes to the world, protect me. No, there's no connection there. That's there's a comma. And anyone that thinks evil of me, you should immediately, swiftly thwart their counsel, the kalkal machshavaisam, and disturb their thoughts. I'm sorry. It should be a will. It should be favorable. The words of my mouth, the hegin libi, and the thoughts of my heart, before you, should find favor. Hashem is my stronghold and my redeemer. Rav Sheshes, when Rav Sheshes was sitting in a fast, after he davened, he would say the following: Master of the world, it's revealed before you the time that the temple was standing. A person would sin, he'd bring a sacrifice. And the only part that you would bring on the altar was the fat and the blood. And he was atoned. V'achshav, and now yeshavti b'tainis, I sat and fast. In a smaiti chelbi v'dami, and my fat and my blood was diminished because he was fasting. Yiratzvul fanecha, it should be a will before you. Shechelbi v'dami shenesmait kilu krafti lefnecha al gabi amizbeach v'titzeni. It should be that my fat and blood was diminished as if I brought before you on the altar, on top of the altar, and it's an appeasement for me. Rabbi Yochanan Kav Messiah Safar the Eiv. When Rabbi Yochanan finished the book of Eiv, now we're not talking about Shemon Esrei, we're talking about just a comment that he made. Amar Hachi, he commented after he finished studying the book of Eiv. He says, look, Seif Adam Lamas, the end of a person is death. Seif Behemel Shchita, the end of an animal is to be slaughtered. Vakolamisa, and everything dies. Vakolamisa, and everything is standing to die. This is like those philosophers, it's like, what is life? Just one prolonged death. Okay, so he says, Ashi Misha Gadol B'Torah, but happy is the one that's raised in Torah, V'Amalei B'Torah, and he toils in Torah, V'Yisanachas Ruach L'Yetzer. This became a song. And he causes pleasure to his creator. Gadol b'shem tov, he's raised in a good name. V'nifta b'shem tov, and he leaves the world in a good name. V'nifta b'shem tov min ha'olam. V'lav Amar Shlomo, and Shlomo Melech says, the wise King Solomon, Tov shem mishemen tov. It's better a name than good oil. V'yom ha'mavis miyam yivalda, in the day of his death. From the name that he has at the day of his death is better than the name that he has when he's born. That's more significant. Yeah. Margala b'puma de Reb Meir. There was a pearl in the mouth of Reb Meir. This means this would be a saying that he would say often. Gemar b'chol levavcha b'chol nafshcha. Study with all your heart and soul. L'das estarti, to know my ways. This is like he's quoting God. Belishked al dalsei terasei. Be diligent on the doors of my Torah. Netzar seirasi belibcha. Guard my Torah in your heart. Benegedei nechet tirasi, and opposite your eyes should be my fear. Shmor pichem mikol chet. Guard your mouth from all sin. V'tar v'kadosh asmo mikol ashma v'avain. And purify and make holy and sanctify yourself from all sin and guilt. Vani eyem chabachal makom, and I will be with you in all places. That's God will be with you in all places. Margala b'maya de Rabbanan de Yavna. There was a saying in the mouth of the rabbis of Yavna. Ani beria v'chaveri beria. I'm a creation, and my friends are a creation. Ani malachti be'ir. I work in the city. V'hu malachti b'sada, but he works in the field. Sounds like he goes to the Bais Medrash and his friends go out to work. Ani mashkim l'malachti. I wake up to do my work. V'hu mashkim l'malachti, and he goes to do his work. Kashem shu ani maskad b'malachti. Just like he doesn't enter into my work. Kach ani ani maskad b'malachti. He doesn't enter into. I don't enter into his work. B'shem ataymar. And maybe you could say that the reason is, why doesn't he enter into my work? Ani marbe v'mamet. Even if he would try to study Torah, he won't end up doing so much. Because it doesn't matter. Shanina, we've learned in a Mishnah, whether he does a lot or a little, as long as whether he does a lot or he does a little, as long as his intention is for heaven. Okay. I have a friend. He bought a house, and in the house was a safe. He got the safe open. With a locksmith, whatever, and inside was a bag of gold nuggets.
No way.
And he called the office. And he said, "Everyone take the rest of the day off." Anyway, he took it to the jeweler, and it was pyrite.
That's what the jeweler said, yeah. He's like, I'll take that back.
Pyrite. Anyway, don't take the day off. Just come back after lunch. Okay, Margala b'fuma da Abaya. There was an expression. This last Gemara, I'm not sure if it's a critique on the people that aren't coming to do his work. When he says, maybe you could say that they would have thought that they wouldn't have been able to do it well. they're still supposed to go enter into my work. I'm not sure if that's what he's saying. Okay, Margala b'puma Abaya. There's an expression in the mouth of Abaya. A person needs to be shrewd with fear. Arum could mean naked, but it could also mean shrewd. It depends. When we say the bracha in the morning, it says we don't say malbish arumim, we say malbish arumim. The dagish needs to be in the mem. Arumim.
Which means not naked?
No. Malbish arumim, because that over there it means naked. Arumim is it means shrewd. Like nachashaya arum. The snake doesn't mean naked. Naked, shrewd. So what does it say? Artulayan Tikushin. Yeah. There's an expression that says those that don't have clothing have the dagish, and those that are wise don't have the dagish. This is an expression, a dicta expression of where the emphasis needs to be to change the meaning of the word. This is Abaya talking. A person should always be shrewd with fear. Soft response returns the wrath, calms the person's anger. Mar b'shalom emecha, person should increase peace with his brothers, from craven with his relatives, and kaladam, and with every man. Even with the non-Jew in the marketplace. They should beloved above, and be loved above, and beloved below. Be a mekubal al abrius, and it should be accepted by the creations. Amru alav al Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. It was said regarding Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, the earlier Rabbi Yochanan. Here's what he was talking about. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. Several hundred years earlier.
He's a Tana?
He's a Tana. Major Tana. He's a teacher of most important. I'm sorry? He was a teacher of Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Yeshua, who ended up being teachers of Rabbi Akiva. And he never, no one ever said good morning to him before he said to them. He always greeted everyone first. Even a non-Jew in the market. Margala b'puma de Rava. It's expression from Rava. The purpose of wisdom is repentance and good deeds. Person should not study Chumash, study Mishnayos. And then he kicks at his father and mother and his teacher, and at someone that's smarter than him, or that's greater than him in wisdom or years. The beginning of wisdom is fear of God. It's a good understanding to all that perform them. It doesn't say those that perform them. It says those that perform them. Emphasis on the them. That extra hey in there is coming to tell me those that perform it lishma, they do it for the right reasons, and not those that perform for the wrong reasons. Anyone that does things for the wrong sake, it's better if it wasn't created. An expression on the mouth of Rab. This world is not like the next world. The next world, next world doesn't have eating, drinking, or procreation, or business. Not jealousy, and not hatred. There's also a type of jealousy. Rivalry. Rather, the sages, the righteous sit, and they have a crown on their head. The enemies of Ashkina, and they enjoy the shine of the Shkina. They looked at God, they ate and they drank, which that's a proof that the pleasure will be from looking at God. There's more guarantee, confidence that Hashem gave to the women more than the men. The relaxed women, get up. Listen to my voice. The confident girls, listen to my words. It says over there, the shananais and the baitches, that it says by women. Amalei Rav Rav says to Rav Chia, Noshim b'may zachin. How do women merit the world to come? Ba'akrui b'nai lebei kanishta is a famous Gemara. By bringing their sons to the shul to read, ba'asniya gabrai be'rabanan, by sending their husbands off to the Bais Medrash to learn. Menachem legabrayu adasim be'rabanan, and they wait for their husbands to come home. When they left the house of Rabbi and from the house of Rabbi, they said the following: your world you should see in your life. Your end should be in the world to come. And your hope should be for future generations. Your heart will understand, will think understanding. Your mouth should speak wisdom. Your tongue should whisper praises. Your eyelids should look forward. Your eyes should shine with the light of Torah. Your face should shine like the shine of the firmament. Your lips should express knowledge. Your kidneys should rejoice with just. And your feet should run to hear the words of Hashem. It's the ancient of days. When they left the house of Rav Chisda from Rav Shmuel bar Nachmani, they said the following: Alufeinu misabalim, our teachers are laden. Alufeinu misabalim, what does this mean? That our teachers are laden, our leaders are laden. Rabbi Shmuel, Vamila, Rabbi Yechim, Rabbi Lazachadam, Alufeinu misbatayra. They are our teachers in Torah, misabalim b'mitzvahs, and they're laden with commandments. You know, they do all the mitzvahs. Chadam Alufeinu b'Torah mitzvahs. They are our teachers in Torah mitzvahs, misabalim, and they're laden b'yisurim with suffering. Ein peretz. There's no breach. There's no breach. Our company should not be David, like the company of David, that Achitaifel went out of his company and became his enemy. And it doesn't go out. And our company should not be like the company of Shal, that Doeg went out. And it was no good. And there's no cry. Our company should not be like the company of Elisha, that his helper was Gehazi. Quoting the pasuk in our streets, should not have a son or a student that cooks that burns his dish in public. Unbelievable conclusion here that your Gemaras don't have unless you have a Steinsaltz. Could go in Yeshua Neitzri like Yashka.
What does that mean? Tafshila b'Rabim. What does that mean?
That means that he messes up all the teachings. Notice he burns the dish. But you have it. You must have it in yours.
Steinsaltz is the
Steinsaltz is the unedited.
What does it mean? You
Overcooks his food.
in public.
He sins in public.
Causes others to sin.
Causes others to sin. Okay, we'll leave it over here.
For the women who wait for their husbands to come home, it doesn't say in there. And Steinsaltz probably does, so they can do the dishes.
No, it just says that they wait.